الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله، أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله، أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله، أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله. حي على الصلاة حي على الصلاة، حي على الفلاح حي على الفلاح. قد قامت الصلاة قد قامت الصلاة. الله أكبر الله أكبر، لا إله إلا الله.
سووا واعتدلوا. الله أكبر. الله. سمع الله لمن حمده. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله. سمع الله لمن حمده. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. سمع الله لمن حمده. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. سمع الله لمن حمده. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر الله أكبر السلام عليكم ورحمة الله السلام عليكم ورحمة الله Inshallah, after the dhikr and dua, we will have a session from Hikam Ibn Ata'illah Iskandari Rahmatullah alayh. This is a very monumental work in spiritual rectification, and this series began from the beginning of Ramadan. It's not only limited for the last 10 days, but we have been continuing with this from the first Ramadan. It's a 30 days series, inshallah, and we have now larger participants, inshallah. So it'll be slightly longer than before, and we will do that immediately after the adhkar with Maulana Salman, who is one of the teachers here at Dar es Salaam. And please remember that these moments after Asr, before Maghrib, are very precious. فَسَبِّحْ بِحَمْدِ رَبِّكَ قَبْلَ طُلُوعِ الشَّمْسِ وَقَبْلَ غُرُوبِهَا. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala specifically mentions to remember Him and do the dhikr and make dua to Him before the rising of the sun and before the setting of the sun. So after the session, we should do our individual adhkar and dua, inshallah. At Maghrib time, before Maghrib, the Khidmah brothers will let us know. 10 minutes before Maghrib, we should all proceed downstairs. And the last 10 minutes before Maghrib, be downstairs and ready. When the adhan is called, we can partake of the iftar and then proceed upstairs for Maghrib Salah. And after Maghrib Salah, after performing 2 rak'ah, we should go down for dinner. Do not make extended Salatul Awabin. Rather, after eating dinner, we can come back and pray Nafal prayers. Because we need to eat and clear the hall for the sisters for Taraweeh. Jazakumullahu Khairun.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم نحمد ونصلي على رسوله الكريم رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي. Over the past few days, we have been on this chapter regarding the different bounties that Allah Azza wa Jalla has blessed us with, and the author, he has been opening our eyes into even thinking about those things which we don't normally regard as bounties to be bounties. And the author explained how sometimes deprivation of wealth, deprivation of certain things can also be a bounty. Yesterday we talked about how sometimes loneliness, what is Allah's wisdom behind that as well. And we're continuing on today with the same chapter. And the author, he mentions here, إِذَا أَرَادَ أَن يُظْهِرَ فَضْلَهُ عَلَيْكَ خَلَقَ وَنَسَبَ إِلَيْكَ. Because I'm seeing a larger crowd, maybe I'll just give a short summary regarding this book. This book is written, but this book were the statements by a very pious scholar of the past named Sheikh Ibn Ata'illah al-Iskandari. And for many years of his life, he was known to be giving spiritual guidance to people. And towards the end of his life, he had very concise speech. And those concise speech were filled with so much wisdoms that the students, and they had compiled all these wisdoms. And for hundreds of years, they've been, read, they've been reflected over, contemplated over. And in there is like is a summary of many ahadith, many Quranic verses, and many lessons for us to learn. That's why we still have this book in front of us. And then there was a commentary written upon this book by a recent scholar, Maulana Abdullah Gangohi Sahib, rahimahullah. So that this is the book in front of us. إذا أراد أن يظهر فضله عليك خلق ونسب إليك. When he wants to show his grace to you, he creates states in you and attributes them to you. Throughout our life, we may be praised by people for different things that we may have. Some people are praised for maybe their intelligence. Maybe some people are praised for their character. Maybe some people are praised by their soft-heartedness, their akhlaq. All of our accomplishments in life, our degrees, our certificates, our appearance. Allah Azza wa Jal maybe has granted some people beautiful appearance. All these things, these are not things that we signed up for in the past, right? Before we were born, it's not like we had a letter, we wrote to Allah that, oh Allah, when you send me in this life, then let me have this, let me have that, let me have this, grant me good intelligence, beautiful appearance, all these, etc. Allah Azza wa Jal, it was His choice that He gifted us with these things without our ever asking. But the author is saying over here that think of this. Think that people praise you for it. People praise you for it, whereas Allah Azza wa Jal is the one that created these states within you. People come to you and say, oh mashallah, you're so smart, you're so intelligent. Oh mashallah, you have such a good soft heart. You're so a very nice brother. All these qualities, they're praising you for it, and people are holding you in high esteem for it, whereas the actual creator is Allah Azza wa Jal. So this is among the fadl, the bounty of Allah upon us. If we see those beautiful paintings outside in the lobby, we always, as soon as we see the painting, we look right above it, like who's the artist behind this, such a great painting. But when it comes to ourselves, right, and among human beings, our mind, it stops at looking at this person and, oh, he's like this and he's like this. Whereas we should think that whatever we have, whatever good quality we have that people praise us for, is nothing of our own. It's all due to Allah Azza wa Jal. And this will save us from a lot of bad qualities. This will save us from having a lot of arrogance. This will save us from pride. If we think that, whatever good quality I have, whatever people thinking of me, that's all due to the bounty of Allah, it will save us from takabbur. So when Allah Most High wishes to manifest His kindness and favor to a servant, He creates deeds and lofty states. On the occasions of praise, He relates these good deeds and attributes to the servant. In reality, the servant's action and choice have no role in his righteous states, since Allah Most High creates these states in him. Although Allah Most High is the creator of these pious states, He relates the states to the servant who is then praised. Thus, if the servant is intelligent, he will not become vain and proud when he is blessed with the grace of Allah the Most High. On the contrary, he should be bashful and refrain from attributing any virtuous state to himself, and all beautiful attributes should be related to Allah the Most High, yet evil and defects should be attributed to himself. The next statement, لولا جميل ستره لم يكن عمل أهلا للقبول. In this statement here, لولا جميل ستره لم يكن عمل أهلا للقبول, were it not for the kindliness of his veiling, no deed would be worthy of acceptance. In this, the author, he's talking about sincerity. To have the highest level of sincerity is so important. Not to do anything for others. There are very stern ahadith that man samma'a samma'a Allahu bih, right? Man salla yura'i, the one who prays, the one who does actions and he shows off to people, then Allah will reveal that on the day of Qiyamah. and say that people will think that this person, I saw him praying throughout his entire life, and he must be at a very high station, and then on the Day of Judgment, may Allah save us, Allah will disgrace such a person and show that no, this person was actually doing it the whole time for somebody else. This person is not worthy of praise. Likewise, sadaqah, if we're openly giving sadaqah, which is a good deed, but we have to make sure that we're sincere in our intention. Some scholars advise that if a person has a habit of always revealing a sadaqah, then secretly he should also give sadaqah as well. This will save him from doing things to show off. So if a person is going to donate $100, for example, and he openly he donates $70 or $80, then at the same time he should have a habit of donating $20 when no one else is looking, and then so that he can make a quick dua and show Allah that, oh Allah, look, I'm only doing this for your sake, and no one else is watching me at this moment. In the big majma, everyone's watching, and everyone's watching whose hands are being raised. But at the same time, to develop sincerity within ourselves, we should practice upon this as well. So were it not for the kindliness of his veiling, no deed would be worthy of acceptance. Only a deed entirely devoid of any egoistic contamination deserves to be accepted, regardless of the degree of adornment and purification of the ego. There will remain to some extent ego in the self, even though this may not be discernible. The ego by nature is an embodiment of evil. It is because of Allah's grace and kindness that the evil and sins of the servant are overlooked and concealed by Him. He shows great forbearance by withholding His punishment from the sinful servant. Above all, He accepts the servant's defective deeds. In reality, no one's deeds deserve acceptance in His lofty court. Why does the author say this? In reality, no one's deeds deserve acceptance in His lofty court. If you think about it, when we're giving someone a gift, we give according to their status, right? When you have a child, presenting a Mercedes to him is no value, right? He's looking for his chocolate. He's looking for his game. If you're presenting a gift to your friend, and you're at a certain age level, maybe like a basketball or maybe like a cell phone or something of that sort would be appealing to him. He would like that. If you're giving a gift to someone elderly, a different gift would be helpful. And the gift that you give, you make sure that it's in accordance to the rank of that specific person. If you're giving someone someone very high, some doctor or some CEO or the president, right, or the prime minister a gift, it will be something of great value and it will be something worth presenting to him. You're not going to give him a pair of socks, right, and say, this is for you. You've been such a great person. You're going to give him something which is worth his rank, worth his status. Likewise, the a'mal that we do, right, our salah, our zakah, our sawm, all of our dhikr, in the lofty court of Allah, definitely is not worth acceptance. It's only Allah's kindness that He accepts our good deeds. من أكرمك فإنما أكرم فيك جميل ستره فالحمد لمن سترك ليس الحمد لمن أكرمك وشكرك. The author, he has a habit, he sometimes says something in different words, but many times they have the same meaning. So whoever honors you honors only the beauty of his veil in you. Therefore praise is to him who veiled you, not to the one who adorned and thanked you. So this is similar to the previous one. However, there's a difference in this one. The one before this was talking about a specific action. That, let's say, if we're praying salah, then because of the lack of sincerity, it's worth of not being accepted. This statement over here is a bit general, that whoever honors you honors only the beauty of his veil in you. Therefore, praise is to him who veiled you, not to the one who honored and thanked you. Each and every single one of us over here, Alhamdulillah, we are probably sitting in itikaf, we're sitting in a lecture. The person sitting next to us does not know the sins that we do. The person next to us does not know the haram that we do, the haram that we did in the past. Myself speaking first, if you brothers were to know of my past or to know of my sins, that and the wrongs that I do, maybe none of you would be sitting here. But it's the grace of Allah Azza wa Jal that Allah has concealed that from you, and Allah has concealed whatever wrong things that we've done from each other. So the author is saying here that when people praise you, they're actually praising that veil that Allah has placed before you. When a person says, when a person sees another brother reading Quran, making dua, he's praising him, he's actually praising that veil that Allah has placed in front of him. so that he doesn't see his wrong deeds. O traveler, when someone respects and honors you with praise or gifts, do not become proud. That's the main lesson we should get out of this. So our actions should never lead to us being proud. Do not gain the impression that you have put in some excellence. In reality, the person has not praised you. He has praised Allah's attribute of veiling the sins and defects of people. If Allah Most High had not concealed your evils, people would not even spit on you. All would have detested you because your ego is an embodiment of mischief and evil. The author's words are quite strong because this is a book of reformation. So he's gonna, throughout the book, when the commentator is speaking, he speaks as if he's a great sheikh, and he's speaking to his disciples, and worrying about them ever having ill feelings in their heart. Let's move a bit forward. There's a lot of similar statements. There's this beautiful statement here: لا تنفعه طاعتك ولا تضره معصيتك وإنما أمرك بهذه ونهاك عن هذه لما يعود عليك. Your obedience does not benefit him, and your disobedience does not harm him. Whatever ibadah that we do, whatever dhikr that we do, whatever tilawah that we do, it does not benefit Allah. And when we decide that when we are caught up in our desires and we do something which is impermissible, by doing that impermissible act, it's not that we are harming Allah in any way. It is only for your own good that He commanded the one and prohibited the other. O servant, your obedience does not benefit Allah the Most High in any way whatsoever, because He is absolutely independent of all things. Your disobedience cannot harm Him in any way, either because He is Almighty and powerful. There's one hadith of the Prophet ﷺ. The Prophet ﷺ mentioned that if all the human beings and all the jinn, each and every single billions and billions of human beings, from the beginning of Adam ﷺ all the way till the end of times, however many humans will come in this world, and all the jinnat, and we have no clue how many jinns there are, but they were in the world before the humans, so there are much more definitely. If all the humans and all the jinns, they all were the most pious person amongst you, and the most pious person that ever existed in history is the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. If each and every single person was in quality and in attributes, in a'mal, were of the same status of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, then it would not increase Allah's glory in any way. And at the same time, if every single human being, every single jinn that ever existed, they all became disobedient, they all became kuffar, they all disbelieved in Allah, that would not harm Allah in any way. Because Allah's glory is independent and Allah Himself entirely is independent. You know, nowadays when we think of a committee, or let's say like a basketball team or something like that, and it really does, we usually look forward to, who's inside that basketball team to determine how good that team is. Who's in that team? Or there's like a basketball league, and you say, all right, who's in that league? So-and-so person is that league, so-and-so person in that league. And when you find that there's these people inside that particular team, you think, okay, that team is a very strong team, that team is a very good team. Or you have a committee members, you have some sort of association, you look at the main members of that certain organization, and you say, oh, Dr. so-and-so is there, Alim Mulana so-and-so is there, Mufti so-and-so is there. And then you say, okay, that's a really good organization. So the respect of that organization is dependent upon what? The people within that team, the people within that organization. But Allah Azza wa Jal is independent of everything. So no matter who's believing in Allah or who's disbelieving in Allah, that does not harm him or benefit him in any way. That's the message of the author here. That, O servant, your obedience does not benefit Allah the Most High in any way whatsoever, because He is absolutely independent of all things. Your disobedience cannot harm Him in any way, either because He is mighty and powerful. You have been commanded to practice righteousness and abstain from transgression, so that you acquire the benefit in this world and the hereafter. He says in the Quran that whoever practices righteousness, it is for himself, and whoever sins, it is only against himself. The demand, therefore, is that you perform righteousness, refrain from evil, and never think that you would have accomplished something wonderful. The idea of accomplishment would be proper if the actions rendered by you benefit another person. If you refrain from righteousness, you are simply depriving yourself of benefits. You are not bestowing any favor upon anyone. And let's just read this other section here. إنما أجرى الأذى على أيديهم كي لا تكون ساكنا إليهم أراد أن يزعجك عن كل شيء حتى لا يشغلك عنه شيء. The author, he's making reference to something that he said in the past that came yesterday, specifically regarding loneliness. You know, sometimes Allah Ta'ala grants you loneliness so that He can call you towards Him. When you feel that no one else is accepting you, and everyone else is rejecting you, then you call towards Allah. When no one else is willing to help you, you're going through some problem, then you call towards Allah. So in that way, problems are not really problems. They're actually benefits. They're actually bounties. So over here he's saying that He only made affliction come at the hands of people so that you may not repose in them. He wanted to drive you out of everything so that nothing would divert you from Him. And lastly, we'll just read one more and then that's it. We'll conclude this chapter. إذا علمت أن الشيطان لا يغفل عنك فلا تغفل أنت عمن ناصيتك بيده. We always hear that shaitan, he's always trying to tempt us towards sin. He's our enemy. إِنَّ الشَّيْطَانَ لَكُمْ عَدُوًا فَاتَّخِذُوهُ عَدُوًا. Verily shaitan is an enemy towards you, so take him as an enemy. So over here, the author is saying here that if you know that the devil does not forget you, then do not forget for your part him who has your forelock in his head. Over here, the author is trying to instill within us the fear of Allah Azza wa Jal. That just how you're on the watch out for shaitan, or just how you're on the watch out for evil, we're trying to be careful not to fall into evil. What will help you is to always remember the person who has his life in your possession, the person who can grant you death at any time. We hear there's so many natural calamities that just come out of nowhere. There's so many been, throughout this past year, the hurricanes, earthquakes, the wildfires, subhanAllah. People that have been living there for so many years. There's a volcano in Hawaii. There's so many things going on in the world. Allah, if He wants, He can cause, anything to happen to us. Many people, they feel like I'm going to change soon, I'm going to change soon, I'm going to change soon, and maybe that time will never come. There could have been people like that thought like that, who are caught up in those natural disasters that just happen, and they happen very suddenly. So that's why we should always be fearful and not deceive ourselves and think that I'll delay my good actions, I'll continue doing this sin, and then inshallah when I get older, then I will leave that particular sin. O believer and traveler, you are aware that Allah the Most High has informed you that the devil is perpetually scheming to deviate and destroy you. Allah the Most High mentions the devil's vow in the Quran that he shall most certainly come to us from in front of us, from behind us, and on our right and on our left sides. This is one of the verses of the Quran. ثُمَّ لَآتِيَنَّهُم مِّن بَيْنِ أَيْدِيهِمْ وَمِنْ خَلْفِهِمْ وَعَنْ أَيْمَانِهِمْ وَعَنْ شَمَائِلِهِمْ. He vowed to attack the servants of Allah from every side in an attempt to mislead them. Your plan to thwart the devil should be your alertness. You should not be neglectful of your master, in whose power is your life. Supplicate to him, only he can save you from your enemy. Inshallah, we'll just make a dua together, inshallah. Then afterwards, then we will conclude, inshallah. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen, wassalatu wassalamu ala sayyidil anbiya wal mursaleen. Rabbana zalamna anfusana wa lam taghfir lana wa tarhamna lanakunanna minal khasirin. ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار. Ya Allah, Ya Rahman, Ya Rahim. Ya Allah, please forgive us. Oh Allah, please forgive us. Oh Allah, please forgive us. Oh Allah, please have mercy upon us. Oh Allah, please have mercy upon us. Oh Allah, please have mercy upon us. Oh Allah, please forgive our parents. Oh Allah, please forgive our siblings. Oh Allah, please forgive our children. Oh Allah, please have mercy upon all them. Oh Allah, please grant us the ability to use these last few days of Ramadan properly. Oh Allah, accept whatever ibadah we are doing, whatever taraweeh that we're doing. Oh Allah, our fasting. Oh Allah, our fasting. Oh Allah, for 15, 16, 17 hours of a day we're fasting for your sake. Oh Allah, please accept these fasts and grant us sincerity in them. Oh Allah, in the past, whatever actions that we've done out of show, oh Allah, please forgive us for all that. Oh Allah, grant us sincerity in any amal that we're going to do in the future. Oh Allah, these last few nights of Ramadan, grant us the ability to use our time well. Oh Allah, we stand before you every night Many of us do not know the meaning of the Quran. Many of us do not understand what the Qari is reading. O Allah, we're standing for hours just for your sake, only to attain your pleasure, only out of respect of the Quran. O Allah, please accept these little actions that we do in contrast to all the sins that we do. O Allah, please make this Ramadan a means of change in our life, and a means of change in our life of our families. O Allah, please forgive us for any shortcomings that we have. O Allah, please accept all of our a'mal. Wa sallallahu ta'ala ala khayri khalqi Muhammadin wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Bi rahmatika ya arhamar rahimin.